You may have noticed I haven't been on here a while. I had to take some time out to do self-care. You know, a lot of times when you're doing grief work or grief recovery work or grief support, it's equally as important to take time out for yourself, because this can get emotionally draining and emotionally heavy. So you have to take care of yourself. So that's what today's video is about. It's about grief, recovery, and support, as well as self-care to those out there that are doing the work. Some may ask why self-care is a non-negotiable. My answer to that is this: you cannot pour into others if your own well is dry. Now marinate on that for a minute. Remember, grief work is sacred, but it definitely can be draining because you're absorbing other people's pain, and it has a cost if you're not careful. Compassion fatigue is real, even for the strongest of us. Sometimes you have to take a step back. It's never quitting, but it's also preserving your calling. Sometimes you need silence, sometimes you need rest, and you have to have emotional boundaries, because this is good stewardship. Remember this: you don't owe constant access to anyone. Taking a little time off sometimes protect your message from becoming mechanical. And that's what I never want to give you, anything mechanical. I want to be my true and authentic self. So I took some time off so that I can hear from the Lord. Remember this: you'll never be able to model healing if you don't practice it. God often calls us to rest before we collapse. It's never a break from our purpose, but it's what keeps our purpose alive. With all of that being said, listen to this. Some people want validation, but never want true transformation. Sometimes repeating the same pain without action, it keeps you stuck as well as the one that's grieving. It's kind of like us when we're studying the Bible. If we gain a lot of knowledge but never apply it, what is the real goal? So advice without application, it can create emotional exhaustion. Think about that for a moment. Helping can often turn unhealthy when there's no real movement. Sometimes people only want to vent, but they don't want to change and do anything different. You cannot heal someone who is committed to staying wounded or stuck or in their grief. Sometimes listening can become draining when accountability is rejected. Remember this: compassion never means endless availability. Healing requires participation, not just attention. Sometimes you get signs that it's time to step back. That's when some of those signs are these. When advice is consistently ignored. When the same conversations are repeated time and time again without any real growth. When you feel emotionally depleted after every interaction. Number 4, when someone resists healing but want to keep zapping all of your energy. When you're carrying responsibility God never assigned you to carry forever. So here's a boundary statement that you can model. I care about you, but I cannot want healing more than you want it for yourself. So if I can give you a core message, is this: God never shames us into healing, but He does invite us into life. Consider this: healing is not disrespectful to the one that's gone. Refusing healing is often about fear and sometimes even rebellion. Sometimes people feel comfortable staying stuck in their pain. Sometimes people like the attention of their pain. Now, God never rushed grief, but He also doesn't glorify despair. Life after loss is not a betrayal to your loved one. Choosing healing honors the life you still have. So think about this. Staying alive emotionally is never dishonoring your past, but is looking forward to your future that God has given you. Why take it for granted? Remember, God grieves with us, but He also restores us if we ask. Healing is an act of faith, not a denial. God will meet us. His grace meets us exactly where we are, but it also calls us forward to live life. Living fully is never rejecting God's comfort, but it's responding to it. Come to me, all who are heavy laden and burdened, and I'll give you rest. God never wastes pain, but He never asks us to live inside of it forever. So remember this, Ecclesiastes 3 and 4, a time to cry and a time to laugh, a time to grieve and a time to dance. So if you are still here, take a deep breath and remember, healing takes time. You are not alone. God is waiting on you. Okay, I'm going to repeat this one more time. Remember, God never wastes pain, but He also don't ask us to live inside of it forever. Remember again, there's a time to cry, a time to laugh, a time to grieve, and a time to dance. If you're still here, take a deep breath with me. Healing takes time. You're not alone. It's time to get up and dance again.